Hey everybody, Rich here, South Florida Beekeeping with Rich. Today is February the 7th, and this is not the video I came out here to do. I have a hive that's been poisoned. It's not one of my 3 hives, it's the extra hive here, the split. If you look, you'll see
I don't know what shadow's in the way.
there's actually thousands of bees on the ground. Spread out across here. The undertaker bees have, flown them out a little bit.
It's hard to see in the sunshine, honey.
Yeah, well, take my word for it. There's probably at least 1,000 or more bees out here. Now, Thursday of last week, my sister-in-law came over here to get stung, and normally I would come out here, look on the ground, find 1 or 2 dying bees crawling around. I would grab those and sting her with those. We couldn't find any bees on the ground just last week. Everything was fine. We went camping Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Came back, and it was raining Sunday afternoon. We came back on and off. Monday morning, before the rain started, when it was still on the chill side, I checked to see how they were doing on food in the feeder, and they were about 2/3 way through it, so no problem there. And I actually just came out here to do the prep for a video on putting down a granule other than the best one, because you shouldn't use the same one twice. Walked out here and boom, all of this. And I was walking through here yesterday. This wasn't here yesterday. Now the first thing that comes to mind is, okay, was this a robbing situation? I pulled the board out of the back. Nope. If it was a robbing situation, there would be lots and lots of new wax cappings and things back there. There was nothing new. Now, there was a little bit of indication of some diarrhea. There was little spots on the bottom board, something like nosema or something, which is not normally a problem down here because our bees can fly every day. I don't even care if it gets down cold at night. It always gets warm enough for the bees to fly and evacuate. So that was a little surprising. So I can only assume that these bees found a source that they thought was good that had been sprayed. Because if you look at the other 3 hives over here, they're all in great vigor. There's no dead bees out front, other than the 1 or 2 there always are. They're all fine at the moment. So either we have a serious disease going on in here, or they've been poisoned. We're going to find out what we can find out.
You want your smoker?
I'll grab it in a second here. First, let's just check here. Yeah, plenty of vigorous bees up here. There's still a fair amount of sugar.
And that's damp sugar.
That's damp sugar. At this point, it's only damp with their own humidity, but still, it's damp sugar. And these are very upset bees, and I haven't touched them or bothered them in any way, shape, or form. But they are bouncing off my arms.
They are upset, yes.
So they are pretty much in the same position in here that they were in 3 weeks ago when I went off to Alify. I had expected them to have built out more into this area by now, given that it's spring. Well, they don't seem to have. Let's just get this out of the way and take a look at what we've got. Actively putting away nectar. There's an awful lot of bees with their heads in the nectar.
Look at the other side.
Same thing there. Is this a robbing situation? Doesn't look like one from the entrance. bees are coming up, hovering momentarily, landing and walking in. They're not flying straight in. There's no sign of a guard bee really checking them at the door. But it just is not.
Are you looking for the queen? I think you should.
Among other things. Again, lots of nectar. There were drones on the ground, walking around at the end of their life, obviously. Let's see, right here.
Oh, that's a bit of a mess on this side.
Well, on this side we have some open brood, and we have a lot of brood that's hatched out, so she's probably laying over there. Yeah, this has made a mess of itself here. There was no need for it. You had plenty of room elsewhere. But normally I would fix that right this second, but I'm not going to because I don't want to provide any kind of shock to them. It's going to make it a little more difficult to find the queen, because she could be behind there somewhere. Okay. Might be thinking the queen might be over here. And again, we've got plenty of open brood, and we've got young brood. There was a queen not very long ago. You can see how small the brooding there are. The tone is not good.
Well, what are you thinking so far?
I don't really know.
I see a lot of bees.
Yeah, well, there are a lot of bees. Let's see if they're... the problem is that there aren't enough bees to cover this comb over here. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and that one over there makes 5, and these 3 can just come out. I'm going to tighten them back down to a 5-frame nuke. I'm going to put some sugar syrup. Well, I'm going to go make some sugar syrup up and give them some 1-to-1 syrup. I'm going to give them a little pollen patty, because there's a little bit of pollen in there, but not a lot. This hive has gone backwards, and it's gone backwards, as you can see, just in the last couple of days, not just today. I'm going to give them some sugar syrup so that maybe if they are going out somewhere and they're getting into some poison, maybe it'll tempt them to stay more over here by the hive. I don't think I want to close them in. has happened. On the bottom board, I crushed a wax moth that was busily laying eggs in the detritus on the bottom. But doesn't look like they've had a chance to do anything there.
Thought you're putting them in a nuke, honey.
I'm going to go get a follower board and put it in this position right here
Okay.
and leave them at that. These are going to go back in the freezer in case a wax moth has gotten into them. And I'm going to get some sugar water on top. We have a large Bashophia tree across the street from our house, but it's a male, so it's putting out plenty of pollen right now. Nobody's spraying that for sure. But when I went out this morning, I'm the little old man who only uses his pickup truck to go to Home Depot once a week. Well, this morning was that route, and everywhere I went, Bashophia trees, female trees, were in full bloom. So there's lots and lots of nectar available, and there's plenty that is within reach of these bees. So, you know, we are truly into our first flow, because a few of those trees can make for a whole lot of resources. But somehow or other, somebody somewhere has sprayed something, and these bees have gotten into it. So first thing I'm going to do is put one of my little pollen patties in that's too thin to last long enough for the small hive beetles to get interested.
Oh, okay. I thought you were moving them into a nuke, but I guess you said you're going to put the follower board on there.
Yeah. So we'll give them some pollen. Follower board, for those who don't know what a follower board is, it's just a half size. You could put them in the middle by putting one on either side. It takes up the same space. Two of these takes up the space of one frame, so it gives us some room. I'm going to put a frame with some foundation in it, because it just acts like a follower board too, kinda.
Just to take up space.
Just to take up space. The chances that I won't be in here long before they start using that space are slim to none, but you know, the moment you say never, it's going to happen.
Did you clean out the feeder?
Yes, dear. Oh, this isn't the feeder with the sugar in it. I let them out there before that. This is a nice, clean, new feeder.
Can you explain why you decided to do the sugar syrup instead of the damp sugar and put in a new feeder?
Damp sugar bees take when there's nothing better out there. Sugar syrup bees take with great enthusiasm. So the point behind this is to hopefully keep them from going back to wherever it is they're getting poisoned. I hope so. And to stimulate them. If there is a queen in there, I didn't see them, but if there is a queen in there, it'll stimulate them to start getting her to lay more. Obviously, she was there just a few days ago. Those are really small grubs in the bottom of those cells.
So maybe if they don't have a queen or she died, they can make a new one.
If there, hopefully there's some eggs in there too. And either way, a little extra pollen and some 1-to-1 sugar syrup it's palliative at the moment. I don't know what's wrong. I need time to do some research, but I'm going to do something that'll help the situation. And giving them sugar syrup will help the situation. Giving them a pollen patty will help the situation. Reducing the space that they have to concern themselves with at night, given our nights are pretty chilly right now for the last few days. hopefully everything I just did helps the situation, and it did nothing to harm it. Now beyond that, I pretty much let the bees take care of themselves, so we're just going to have to see what happens next.
So if someone finds themselves in a similar situation, this is what you would recommend they do?
If you find a bunch of dead bees out front and you don't find evidence of robbing behind, like I didn't find any evidence of robbing here, then I would strongly suggest that you just do the best for them you can. I mean, one thing you could do, of course, if you had this option, is come in here at night, pack them all up, move them 5 miles or something so they're away from wherever this source of poisoning is. Is it possible this source of poisoning is actually a virus? Yeah. It could be that they've gotten overwhelmed by one of the viruses that's vectored by varroa mites. But so far the other ones aren't showing any indication of this.
And bees are known to drift.
And bees drift a lot. So, just going to do what I can do.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been keeping bees for 6 years now, and so far I have not seen that dreaded varroa bomb that everybody talks about, even though I don't treat my bees. Maybe this is the spring where I get to start over because I end up having that bomb explode in my face. Who knows? So far my bees have done a good job of policing themselves and keeping things sturdy and strong. So not the video I intended on doing. Maybe we'll do that one tomorrow. This is Rich. This is South Florida Beekeeping with Rich. It's February the 7th, 2024. And this video will come out on Friday. So keep an eye on your bees. Well, like I said, I walked through here and just kind of looked at the entrances yesterday. Everything seemed fine, and everything was definitely fine Monday afternoon when I came out when it got warm and was checking everything. There was no indication of any of this was about to happen. So things can happen in a hurry. Have fun, everybody. Take care of your bees.